Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another episode of RV Business Capital Talk, sponsored by Eric Sell. I'm Rick Kessler. With me, as always, Sherman Goldenberg, and joining the two of us today is Todd Seyfert. Todd is the relatively new president of Dometic Americas, the land segment. I think your first day on the job was January 9.
Correct. Yes, Rick. It seems like it's gone pretty quickly the last few months. So
You step into your job, and then your first big trade or first big industry event is the NTP Stag distribution show, where you got to meet several hundred customers and dealer
right.
partners.
Yep.
Nice baptism by fire, I guess.
It was actually great. Learning about the industry, I think, is easier when you can actually go touch and feel. And so spending time both at NTP Stag, kind of meeting the dealers and seeing kind of all the industry support in one building, and then being able to go to Tampa the following week to the big outdoor, the RV show was actually really helped me kind of get my arms around the industry and the business. So,
And you're, as we were saying beforehand, you're operating out of Minneapolis.
So that's where I live, but I'll actually be my office, and I'll be located in Elkhart. So I plan to bring, if you can say, one of the things I've seen is, we have locations all across the U.S., and our headquarters has been in Chicago, but the heart of Dometic is Elkhart and Elkhart County, and so that is where I am going to be. So I'm actually in the process of looking for a place to live, and I'm going to spend my time and effort in the Elkhart area, because that's where a majority of our customers for Land Vehicles Americas reside.
That's important to you then, obviously.
Very, it is. Relationships. I'm a relationship guy, so I came up through the sales, early in my career, and really building those relationships long term. You can't build a relationship unless you're present, and so for me, it's about not only our customers, but that's where a lot of our employees are. And so making sure that we have consistency in messaging and executive presence, both for our employees. More importantly, I plan to travel. I've been traveling to see our customers. I'm a big proponent of top to top, where you have alignment with your customers. You understand their strategy. They understand your strategy. You have bigger, longer term conversations versus just selling an item. It's really more about how we can work together to grow the business to the benefit of both of us. And, I want to be in those meetings, not just sales leadership or not just product management, but it really is that cohesive conversation amongst like peers that I like to have. And I can't do that unless I'm in Elkhart.
Todd, what's the essential message you're transmitting here in your first days with Dometic, and your first months with Dometic?
A couple of things. I think really importantly for me, is really aligning on the strategy and making sure that our employees and our customers understand Dometic. And so I think there has been some misperceptions around what Dometic's doing the last 3 or 4 years. I think you had some of the factory facility moves. I think you had a number of acquisitions that happened globally for Dometic. And then you had kind of the COVID implications for everyone around supply chain and availability. And I think it created a lot of noise. What I'm trying to send a message to our customers and to our employees is that Dometic is, for Land Vehicles Americas, we are focused on the RV aftermarket and the RV OE market. That is who Dometic is. That is who we've always been. And I think that message got lost. And what I'm trying to do is resend that message by being present to say, Dometic didn't leave. We just did a really lousy job of letting everybody know we were still here.
That's a fair statement.
Yeah, go ahead, Rick.
No, that's a fair statement. In your perception, I think, is probably relatively shared by many.
Yeah, it is. It's the number one feedback I get when I'm visiting customers right now is, I think kind of the feeling was we abandoned Elkhart, and I don't think we did a good job of making sure they understood, our facilities in the U.S. We have facilities all over North America, right? That we've had forever, and we continue to have. I think we've got 12,000 employees globally and roughly 4,000 in North America, and so, but we didn't share that, right? And so people, they don't know what they don't know.
Good point.
And so, really, my messaging is, hey, we are here. I am here. and Dometic is back, and we are doing some things differently than we have in the last 4 or 5 years. And it really starts with me explaining that, if we've let you down in the past, whether it was through COVID, whether it was through misconceptions around where our facilities were, or some of the outsourcing that we did down to Mexico, I want to make sure they realize that, we are back, and our fill rates are good. We have product. We've got a lot of new stuff that we're launching that I'm very excited about this year, and really going back and re-engaging at a much higher level than we have really the last 4 or 5 years.
And you're operating, from my review just now of some of your material, you're operating out of a new segmentation format internally, right?
Yes.
Right?
We are. Yep. So Sherman, that's a good point. So, a couple of things, right? So, Dometic as a whole has doubled its size in the last 5 years. So, there's a lot going on in terms of Dometic globally. And because of that growth, there's really a step back in terms of focus, right? So I think the bigger you get, it can get lost if you're not focused. And so there's been some global segmentation for the company, like mobile cooling now has been carved out with the purchase of Igloo. That's kind of a standalone global segment now. Marine is a global segment. And then, of course, we have some of the legacy, what used to be Americas and APAC and EMEA, really focused on what we call land vehicles now. And then additionally, within the Americas, as I joined, we have then further focused our land vehicles Americas business into subsegments. And really that whole idea there is to give much more focus to the products, which therefore gives that focus to the customer. And so really we're talking about climate systems, we're talking about comfort systems. We have mobile power solutions, North America, which is some of the acquisitions we did in some of the solar acquisitions with Zamp and Go Power, bringing those together as a single business unit now in North America. Our outdoor business, which is actually very small, that's some of the accessories around the RV. So think about, whether it's a blow-up tent, rooftop tent, some of the chairs, some of the hydration things that we have, that's kind of that small, what we call outdoor. And then we have our service and aftermarket business, which is a big part of what we do, servicing the dealers on the products that we have installed on the coaches and the trailers. So that is new. That was just announced about a month ago here in America. And I'm in the process of bringing in general managers for each of those divisions. And it's the first time that we'll actually have a more broad P&L responsibility amongst management. So before it was just, this role that I have was kind of the P&L holder. We're going to blow that down into these segments. And the reason for that is kind of twofold, right? It is more focus, more clarity, and on those smaller segments, deeper, all the way down to the factory. But more importantly, it's a development. For me, you have to have a path for people to grow within a business. And it's really important for me to bring in good people and develop existing people so that the next time we need to look for a general manager or some new role within those subsegments, we have developed that talent internally and we provide opportunities for those employees going forward.
This is a major undertaking.
It's been a very busy 60 days.
Hit the ground and hit it running.
Hit it running. Exactly. Yep.
Well,
And the good news is the
go ahead.
conversations they've been received very well, both internally, the extra focus and the focus on, the smaller areas has been received well internally, and our customers have received it well, because a lot of our customers are kind of set up in segments, right? So it kind of aligns with what the industry does. And so I think both from that perspective, in terms of how we'll operate going forward and internally, it just brings a lot of clarity and a lot of focus, which I think we were looking for and needed, quite honestly.
Okay.
Dometic for a bunch of years was one of the more noteworthy suppliers within the recreational vehicle realm. And what you're saying essentially is it still is.
It is. Yep. We forgot to tell people that, Sherman. And sometimes, you actually have to be present and remind people that you're still here. And so that is my role. I'm very much about, getting entrenched in the Elkhart, not only Elkhart, but Elkhart County, getting entrenched with our customers, explaining what we're doing and why. And I'll give you, something that we're doing that we listened, right? So I got here and one of the big pain points, quite honestly, was awnings, right? We own the awning market. We had forever. And, through some of the transitions through COVID, we had some supply issues and we weren't able to supply. We let our customers down. And we're in the process right now of bringing awning production back to Elkhart. And so, the message I've been out telling some of our customers is, listen, we understand the delivery issues. We're back. We're in stock. And for our OEM partners that are interested, we are now up and running in terms of pilot production in Elkhart for awnings. And so, again, listening to what our customers are telling us is really, really important to me, and then acting upon that information. And that's one of the first things, I did as I got here was said, yes, we need to do this. It seems to be the right thing to do for our customers, and we need to figure out how. And so, again, listening, doing things a little bit different, being part of the community, those are the things that I'm focused on, and it's resonating well so far.
The awning manufacturing you're talking about, it goes in an existing facility, right?
Yes. So we have an industrial parkway facility in Elkhart. And so we've set up that production line back into the industrial parkway facility.
Okay. Todd, any other product news to pass along? Air conditioners, whatever?
Yeah, so we'll be launching a couple of different products this year. We have a new ventilation system that we're working through right now that'll be launched here. The pre-launch will be in May, and then we'll be out visiting customers. And then we have a couple of iterations of our Fresh Jet air conditioners that are new for us. And then actually finally we have some launches on our toilet, our sanitation business. So we've got a lot of opportunity with the Volterra acquisition and aligning that with what we call legacy sanitation for the toilet side within Dometic. And so we're very excited about bringing those two businesses closer together, leveraging the benefit of what Volterra has done in that brand, and then marrying that with our toilet business and our sanitation business. And so, we have a number of product launches within those three main categories that we're very excited about. Obviously, air conditioners is a big part of what we're known for, right? And so making sure that we continue to be relevant, listening to our customers again in terms of size and noise. Those are all things we're addressing in the new launches. And so we have a big sales meeting scheduled in May in Elkhart, bringing in the teams, and then we'll be reviewing the products, and then we're in the process of creating the launch packages. And so early June, Rick, will be out talking about the new product launches, which I'm very excited about. Okay,
very good. One thing that we didn't ask about, and we're running short on time, but I think it's important, is your background. You might be new to the RV industry, but not the outdoors industry.
Correct.
The couple of people on the wall behind you is a hint of what your background is. But if you don't mind, give us a quick rundown.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I am a passionate outdoor person. So grew up in, central Wisconsin. So I come from kind of farming community in central Wisconsin, grew up hunting and fishing. And for me, the path after college was getting in the outdoor space in some level. And so I was lucky enough out of college to get a job at actually a manufacturing company in Minneapolis that made, of all things, they had medical products and shooting and cleaning chemicals. So kind of an interesting combination. But it was my entree into the outdoor, and I was hooked. And so really for the last 25 plus years, I've been in the outdoor space, hunt, shoot, general outdoor recreation. So from not only a business perspective in my background, but actually from a passion perspective. So my wife and I have 4 boys. We do everything outdoors. In Minnesota, you have to have a cabin. I think it's by law, by decree. And so we have a cabin that we love to spend time with our family and friends, and we boat and we fish. We jet ski, so all things water related. We're in Minnesota. We're a skiing family. So whether it's cross country skiing here in town or going out west to ski, we love to ski. We're mountain bikers. I'm a runner. As I get older, it's harder to run, but I love to run. It's one of my passions. I've done it. It's one thing you can do everywhere when you travel, right? So, and then I'm a passionate hunter, and I've been forever. And so, I grew up doing it with my dad and my brothers. I've been lucky enough to share that passion with my boys. And so it's something that I love to do. And I do it a lot with customers because, spending time out of the office in the field, to me has been a way to connect in a deeper way with my customers. And so it's something I love to do. I love to share my experiences. I love to share that, a lot of people that haven't done it, it's a great way to just spend time outdoors and spend time together. And so, Rick, my background is all about the outdoors, and however I can participate, I'm typically in.
Well, and just so people are clear, immediately prior to Dometic, CEO of Faradyne, which manufactures hunting equipment.
Yeah, archery products. Yep.
Archery, okay. And prior to that, spent some time with ATK Vista Outdoors, dozens of brands, probably Camp Chef and maybe Camelback, Remington, right?
Yep, exactly.
Now, I'm glad you said you do cross-country skiing, because once you move to Elkhart, I don't think there's too much downhill skiing opportunity.
No, I noticed that.
Unless you count the overpass, but I don't know if that really matters.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Todd, got to thank you again. RVBusiness, of course, thank you to them for their continued sponsorship. We will see you, I'm sure, very soon.
Yes, sounds great. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate the time.
Looking forward to it.
Okay, take care.